much. What you want, what you want, what you gonna do when sugar just don't come for you?
Marijuana, or the hemp plant, is commonly grown in Oklahoma or imported inside the state. It's one of the most commonly abused drugs in Oklahoma. This video is intended to train an officer to perform the Duquesnoy-Levine test on suspected samples of marijuana. The prosecutor may use the result in misdemeanor cases for plea purposes or preliminary hearings in some felony cases. The Duquesnoy-Levine test is an exam for the presence of a group of compounds called the cannabinoids that are present in marijuana, a Scheduled I substance. According to Oklahoma Title 63, marijuana means all parts of the plant Cannabis sativa L, whether growing or not, the seeds thereof, the resin extracted from any part of such plant, and every compound, manufacture, salt, derivative, mixture, or preparation of such plant, its seeds or resin, but shall not include the mature stalks of such plant, fiber produced from the stalks, oil or cake made from the seeds of such plant, any other compound, manufacture, salt, derivative, mixture, or preparation of such mature stalks, except the resin extracted therefrom, fiber, oil, or cake, or the sterilized seed of such plant which is incapable of germination. Although a reliable test and used by many forensic laboratories, the Duquesnoy-Levine test does not conclusively identify marijuana by itself. Further laboratory examinations are necessary for conclusive identification of marijuana. The Duquesnoy-Levine is packaged as a field test kit that can be used by law enforcement officers. Instructions on how to use the kit can be found on this CD or within the box the kit came in. The MSDS, or Material Safety Data Sheets for the Duquesnoy-Levine kit, can also be found on this CD. There are 3 separate MSDS, one for each ampoule in the Duquesnoy-Levine kit. Each pouch contains 3 ampoules that can be broken from left to right, starting with the Duquesnoy's reagent, then the HCl, and finally the chloroform. It's recommended that gloves be worn when using the Duquesnoy-Levine test kit. Before we take a closer look at some of the reagents, be aware of one of the most common mistakes in the use of field test systems is the use of far too much material. Just a few strands or a very small pinch of plant material are required to perform the Duquesnoy-Levine test. Pin the fold-over portion of the pouch between your thumb and forefinger, holding the loading device in place. Remove the safety closure clip and open the pouch. Once you have obtained the proper sized sample, about 4 to 6 1/4 inch piece of material, use the loading device to help place the material into the bottom of the pouch. The loading device can be left inside the pouch. Replace the clip and tap the pouch on a hard surface to drive the sample to the bottom of the pouch. With printing facing you, gently squeeze the center of the left ampoule containing the Duquesnoy's reagent, breaking the ampoule. Agitate for a full minute. Do not shake the pouch up or down. A very light tan or dust color may form at this point. Next, break the middle ampoule containing the HCl acid. Agitate and allow the blue or violet color to develop. 1 to 2 minutes should be sufficient. Depending on the amount of sample placed in the pouch, the THC level of the material, or its freshness, a purple color will begin to form either instantly or it might take as long as a minute or 2. Do not allow the color to become too dark. If no color forms at this step, the test is negative. After the color forms, break the right ampoule containing the chloroform. Agitate for about 5 seconds and then hold the pouch steady. Here's a tip that will improve your viewing after breakage of the final ampule. Wrap it sharply on its side to move all the glass shards and other materials out of the way. Tilt it back slowly and hold it steady. 2 layers of liquid will have formed. The top layer will be gray, and the lower level will be a purple if marijuana is present. If any other color develops, the test is negative for marijuana. When finished, neutralize the agent before disposal. A 5% solution of sodium bicarbonate or baking soda in water can be used as the neutralizing agent. Now it's time to document and report your findings using the Marijuana Field Testing Report Form, which you receive with your field test kits. This form is also available on the OSBI website. After completing the form, give the original to the prosecutor when you file your charges and keep a copy for yourself. Usually, misdemeanor cases will plea out before a lab analysis is needed. Label the evidence with your initials and the date. To prevent ink smears, put transparent tape over the label on the evidence. Place the evidence in an evidence envelope or an appropriate container. Seal the flap and corners on the evidence envelope with red evidence tape or 2-inch tape. Make sure to place your initials across the tape and envelope or container. Store the evidence in a secure area that has limited access. If others have access, they will be in the chain of custody and may be required to testify in court. If the case goes to court, turn in the evidence to the OSBI lab at least 2 weeks before the trial. When submitting the evidence, be sure to give the court date to the OSBI evidence technician. When the evidence is no longer needed for court, fill out an OSBI destruction form and turn the form and the evidence into the OSBI lab for destruction. The OSBI destruction form can be found on the OSBI website. Let's review the process. Open the pouch and insert the material. Replace the clip and tap the pouch on a hard surface. With the printing facing you, break the left ampule. Agitate for about 1 minute. Break the middle ampule. Agitate and allow blue or violet color to develop. Do not allow color to get too dark. If no color develops here, the test is negative. After the color forms, break the right ampule and agitate for about 5 seconds. Allow the layers to separate. A purple lower layer is a positive test for marijuana. Document your findings on an OSBI field test report and turn in to your prosecutor. Label the evidence and place it in an evidence envelope or in an appropriate container. Initial across the seal on the container to make any tampering evident. Store the evidence in a secure location with limited access. If the case goes to court, turn in the evidence to the OSBI lab at least 2 weeks before the court date. When the evidence is no longer needed for court, prepare an OSBI destruction form and turn the form and evidence into the OSBI for destruction. Thank you for your cooperation. If you have any questions, please call us at area code 405-330-6724.
All suspects are innocent until proven guilty in a court of law.